Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.
What is going on, Raider Nation? What is going on? It is your boy Darian coming to you live with another video. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Shout out to all the subscribers that have subscribed to the YouTube page. And this is your first time ever being at our YouTube page, I would suggest that you subscribe and hit the bell button and get the latest news and all Raiders news. But we're back here with another Raiders video. In this video, we're going to talk about what happened on Thursday night against the LA Chargers. And in this video, we're going to talk about three things that we've learned. Three things that we learned in that game against the LA Chargers. And shout out to justblogbaby.com for the article. If it wasn't for them, I would not be able to bring y'all this source and talk about these three actual things. So the article will be in the description, so make sure you shout out to justblogbaby.com and read that full article. But here you go. These are the three things that we learned from the LA Chargers versus Las Vegas Raiders game on Thursday night. Let's check it out right now. And the first thing that we're going to talk about here is Marcus Mariota is still good at football. Marcus Mariota was put in a tough spot on Thursday night coming into the game in the relief of Derek Carr after he appeared to suffer a groin injury, but he lit it up under the bright lights. The veteran backup has not played a competitive down of football since January of 2020 and has not started a game since October of 2019. But you would have never guessed it that given his performance, because he had a great performance Thursday night. Much of the concerns around Mariota was related to his health. And if Thursday's performance was any indication, then he is now fully healthy. Mariota came in cold off the bench and threw a perfect touchdown pass to Darren Waller on his first drive, which was just a sign of things to come. Former Tennessee Titan ended the day with 226 yards and a touchdown through the air and 88 yards and a touchdown on the ground. It was a type of dual threat performance that the Raiders fans have not seen since the days of Rich Gannon. Some members of the Raider Nation felt that Mariota could be a reclamation project for John Gruden, just like Gannon was. But the difference is that Mariota is just 27 years old. Rather than focus on what's to come for Mariota and the Raiders, let's just celebrate that the team's substantially investment in a veteran quarterback of his quality appears to have been justified. Mariota kept the silver and black in the game until the very end and was within a few yards of a Hollywood ending to his first start in over a year. We have no indication yet who's the starting quarterback will be for the rest of the season, but if the Raiders choose to stick with Mariota, he proved that he be giving them a fighting chance against any opponent. I have to agree. I can't even lie. Marcus Mariota had a phenomenal game on Thursday night. He really did, but we have to fail to realize this too. Marcus Mariota and the Chargers was not prepared for Marcus Mariota to come into this game at all. So the Chargers really didn't know how to defend against Marcus Mariota, but I can say he still played a good game, knowing that he have not touched the field all year and he has not played a competitive game since January of 2020. So yes, I mean, I think he played really well. He played really great, and he's still good in this league. But let's just hold our horses here, because if we try to be like, oh, Derek Carr is done, and then we get rid of Derek Carr and Mariota, ish the bed, then we're going to say we want Derek Carr back. So in my opinion, Mariota is still a good quarterback, but let's just see him more against what defenses are prepared for him. Let's see how he can do that under that pressure. But I do agree with Just Ball Baby here. He is a still good quarterback in this league. So the second thing that we learned in this Chargers and Raiders game on Thursday night, that John Gruden's decision making is getting better, but it still needs work. No matter how fun-loving and loose John Gruden makes himself seem in interviews, we've seen in his Raiders tenders that he's still an old school coach. He still relies on the run game and set up the pass, is one of the few coaches in the NFL that still believes in 3 tight end sets and even using a fullback. Despite his old school learnings, Gruden may be coming around on some of the analytics that prove aggression is the way to win football games. On Thursday night, Gruden's aggression versus Anthony Lynn's conservative approach was nearly the difference in the game for the Raiders, but when it mattered most, Gruden reverted back to his conservative roots. The Raiders' offense was woeful, 5 of 13 on third down on Thursday, but were excellent on 4 for 4 on fourth downs. However, when the Raiders was facing the most important fourth down of the game in overtime, Gruden decides to kick a field goal and rely on his historically bad defense and try to win the game. The Raiders had the ball on first and goal from the Chargers' 4-yard line, and after 2 unsuccessful runs and a bizarre play call on third down, Gruden had a decision to make that ultimately decided the game. He could have gone for the touchdown if we were successful, and the Raiders would have ended the game right then and there. Had they not been successful, the Chargers would have gotten the ball inside the 5-yard line and would have driven nearly the length of the field, given their lack of confidence in a kicker that already missed twice on that night. Gruden opted for the conservative choice. It was quickly proven wrong as the Chargers marched down to the goal line with ease and punched it in after a series of failed quarterback runs. The saying goes, as the old dog can't learn new tricks. It is time that the Raider Nation accepts that this is who Gruden is. He will always lean towards more of a conservative approach and will only go for it on fourth down when it's absolutely necessary. He did so on Thursday night with the great success because his hands was forced, but there were several other chances to be more aggressive this season, but he opted to take the points and rely on his defense. Unless the Raiders are able to bring back Gruden's defense from the Tampa Bay area, his lack of aggression will continue to be a factor that holds this team back and his offense. I like some of the play calling that Jon Gruden did. I really did like what Jon Gruden did, but I feel as though when the game mattered on the line, you play to win the game. You play to win the game. And that's what Jon Gruden with conservative that there's no way I'm a coach and I'm going to not go for it on fourth down when the game is on the line, knowing that this defense has really been bad. So yes, Jon Gruden do make some good decisions, but I just can't accept his conservative ways. I can't accept it. I feel like we need to go with a younger coach that's very innovative and very aggressively wants to win games, because I feel like some of the calls that he is making is not great calls. Yes, he makes some good aggressive calls when it's needed, but an important part of that game, we should have went for it on fourth down. Period. That's what it should have been. That's what it is. So he does make good decisions, but he's still back to his old ways. And the third thing that we learned from this Chargers and Raiders game is depth is still a problem for the Las Vegas Raiders. In other addition of really bad deja vu from the 2019, the Raiders in 2020 season started to fall apart as it seemed once of a lack of depth was exposed. This year, the injury and the COVID-related effects started to take a toll on the team in the second half of the season, and just like 2019, it has led to them being knocked out of the playoff picture. The Raiders, especially on the defense, had a rotating cast of players at all three levels due to the combination of injuries and COVID-related absences. On Thursday, the Raiders were down to their third-string cornerback and a cornerback turned safety that just signed off the street. It was eerily similar to the 2019, where the Raiders had turned to players like DJ Swearinger, who was just off the street of free agents to pack together their defense. This lack of depth calls into a question some of the team personnel's decisions. Especially at the defensive back, the Raiders choose to release veteran players like Prince Amukamara and Demarius Randall, and instead with younger players who are not as talented like Keshawn Nixon and Dalen Leavitt. Both young players was forced to start on Thursday and were exposed as nothing more as special team contributors. Even if Randall and Amukamara were not going to start all season, the thought of keeping them on the squad is this bizarre season, and it must have crossed minds of Gruden and Mike Mayock. Randall played less than 40 snaps for the Seahawks, and Amukamara has been on the Cardinals practice squad. So it's not likely they are tearing it up for other teams, but would like to have better options than the Raiders roll out against LA. In a year of such uncertainty, where single positive COVID tests could rule out the entire position groups, in the flash, and the Raiders failed to make depth priority in the positions where turnover is already high in a regular season. Let's just hope learned is learned from 2021, and we not have yet another repeated season, and it starts at the ends with the heartbreak. I've been saying this for a while now. That lack of depth has been really bad for the Las Vegas Raiders all year. Prince Amukamara and Demarius Randall, those guys could have been helping this young core in so many ways, but we decide to let them go and go with our young players, and this is why we are in the situation that we're in on a defensive backside. And I'm just being real. I'm just being 100% real about this, because at the end of the day, when you don't have a real veteran that played in this game more than 5 or 6 years, it's going to be an issue. And it was an issue all year long. And I was kind of mad that we released Prince Amukamara and Demarius Randall, understanding what happened in preseason, but I feel like those veterans would have helped these guys be better. So at the end of the day, do I agree with this? Yes, we have a lack of depth at the position. We just have to make ourselves more prepared. Knowing with the COVID situation, we have to make ourselves more prepared to win football games and have players prepared if they can't go because of the COVID or an injury. So Raider Nation, let me know what you think. Was these the 3 actual things that we learned about the Raiders-Chargers game last Thursday night? Please let us know with the comments below. I'll definitely be looking at everybody's comment and reply to everybody's comment. So let me know what you think about this video, Raider Nation. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It's the Spotlight Raiders Talk. And I will see y'all in the next live stream or in the next video. Peace.
Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.